Okay, so today what we're going to do is we're going to read the first chapter of Captain Underpants together. And while we're reading the first chapter, what I'm going to do is have you guys go ahead and also fill out the RT sheet while we're reading. So remember the 4 things that we're doing: prediction, vocabulary, questions, and summary. Okay? And as I'm reading to you, I'm going to help you go through these 4 boxes, and I'm also going to help translate some of the vocabulary. You're going to notice that as I'm reading, I'm also going to move the arrow to show you what sentence I'm on. Okay? So the first thing we need to do is make a prediction. So let's take a look at the pictures and let's talk about what the first chapter is going to be about. So mira las fotos y produce una predicción sobre este chapter 1, okay? So I'm looking, and already I noticed that there are 2 boys in the story. So entonces yo escribo, this story is about 2 boys. Esa historia es sobre 2 niños, and I think that these 2 boys are friends. Yo pienso, los 2 niños son amigos. The 2 boys are friends. Okay, so now let's start reading. Chapter 1. Meet George Beard and Harold Hutchins. George is the kid on the left with the tie and the flat top. So this is George. Harold is the one on the right with the t-shirt and the bad haircut. Remember that now. So this is Harold. The sign says flower shop. Pick your own roses. Aquí significa elegir tu rosas. Esta es la tienda para flores. George and Harold were best friends. They had a lot in common. They lived right next door to each other, and they were both in the same 4th grade class at Jerome Hort's elementary school. George were usually responsible kids. Whenever anything bad happened, George and Harold were usually responsible. Flower shop. Pick our noses. Tienda para flores. Escoger tu nariz. So what this means here is George and Harold son amigos. Pero aquí it says they were usually responsible kids. So esta palabra responsible es mismo en español de responsables. Okay? When anything bad happened, George and Harold were usually responsible. Eso significa cuando pasó algo malo, George y Harold eran los responsables. So, por ejemplo, cuando tiene algo malo pasó, George y Harold ser los culpables, ¿ok? Ellos hacen muchas bromas y tienen muchos problemas. So, recuerda, antes, la tienda de flores tiene una signa, elige tu rosa, pero ellos cambiaron para escoger tu nariz. But don't get the wrong idea about these 2. George and Harold were actually very nice boys. No matter what everybody else thought, they were good, sweet, and lovable. Well, okay, maybe they weren't so sweet and lovable, but they were good nonetheless. It was just that George and Harold each had a silly streak a mile long. Usually, the silly streak was hard to control. Sometimes it got them in trouble, and once it got them into big, big trouble. Before I can tell you the story, I have to tell you this story. Okay. Esta palabra silly. Silly significa absurdo. Y trouble significa problemas. So let's do a quick summary of chapter 1. The first chapter is about two boys, George, and Harold. Ellos, they are silly. Ellos son absurdo. Okay? They make a lot of trouble. Ellos producen muchos problemas. Okay? So that's our first chapter. And soon, I'm going to come up with chapter number 2, and we're going to continue to read, and we are going to continue to fill out this summary. Okay?